Oh, I just threw up in my mouth.
Nice. Well, again, it is old school law. Here we are again, episode 26. And today I got a couple of course, my main man, Wolfman, my co-pilot,
Yo, what's up, everybody?
and then welcoming back Problem Solved with Eric, Coin Drops Custom. Eric, thanks for being here, buddy.
What up?
So, hey, Wolf, what brings us together today?
Yes, so today's episode is a special episode, and I'm going to start it off with a small ditty that I wrote.
No ditty.
So it goes something like this. I have lots of Nintendo. My favorite is Super Nintendo. Always wanted a Neo Geo. Always wanted a Neo Geo. To get one, you needed to be rich. One day I will get one, not to bitch. Luke loved Leia, but she loved Han. I know who has a Neo Geo. His name is Dickentron.
What
Yeah, nice. All right, yes. So
That was hilarious.
so this is what brings us together today. The Neo Geo. Look at the size of this thing. It's like, hey, it's not all about the size, but it is actually about the size. This is actual arcade hardware at your house. So, yeah, I love this system. It's freaking fantastic. It was released in 1990. They actually stopped making the console in 1997, but continued to make games up to like 2004. So it's pretty amazing, all the stuff that this does. And like Wolfman said too, it was buried behind super expensive price tag. I did a little research. I thought it was more expensive when it first came out, but it was $650
Yep.
retail.
Yeah, but
when it first came out.
adjusted, that's like $1,400.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But this is a great console. I know Eric's been looking at wanting to get one. You can still find them around. If you're lucky, a working one with maybe one controller and hookups, you might be lucky if you find one for maybe $700-800. But if you're really looking for one that has two controllers and is well kept and all that, you're going to be around $1,000. And if you want CIB, it could be anywhere between 1,800 to sometimes up to $3,000 for just a working console, hookups, and then the games are freaking ridiculous. You guys got anything you want to talk about the console itself?
Super unique. I knew of it when it was released because the place where I used to rent video games as a kid also rented systems, but it was obscenely expensive to rent a Neo Geo, and even if you did, they had like only 2 games. But always wanted one because I would always play the SNK multi-cabs in the arcade, and at the time I didn't understand that it was the same hardware in there as it was in the console, but I loved those games, so it was good.
Yeah, so fun fact. So there was the retail version of Neo Geos. Then they had like an actual rental version, which it was like a little cheaper of a box setup, so it's a little easier for the rental companies to buy them. And believe it or not, that's the actual box setup that I have is actually a rental box setup. Another thing that I wanted to touch on really quickly was, like Eric had already talked about it, is the games. So this is just an example of what we're talking about for these games. And because it is actual arcade hardware, so it's like having an arcade board in the console, but then you had to have separate control boards for the actual game. As you can see, there's like two circuit boards inside this thing. Here's the size of it compared to my hand. So it's like a VHS tape, and but that's one of the reasons why that rental company probably didn't have a lot of games, because even back then the games themselves were $200 to $400 a piece, brand new.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And it's the same carts that you buy for the home cartridge or the home system that are in the arcade machine too.
Yeah,
Just the arcade machine had like 6 slots, right?
well, no. So the cart outside, the actual housings were different, but the boards
Okay.
were pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's why you can run into find like MVS conversion carts where
Yeah.
they look like an AES cart, but that's because they had taken the AES, like plastic, and then they had taken the boards out of an MVS and put it in there. That's
I
the
see.
easiest way. There are adapters too, so you can get like just an adapter that'll plug in your AES and you can put an MVS cart right on top of it without having to swap.
Right.
So there's all kinds of cool stuff out there. But yeah, this is a lesser known system. It was my holy grail system. I picked this one back up in 2009, and believe it or not, I got it on Amazon. It came boxed, so CIB, two controllers, and I want to say it had 4 or 5 games with it for $500.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, but I had watched it for like probably 2 or 3 years because I knew I was starting to make money. Got married and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, all right, I have some money. Let me wait and save a little bit, and then once I had enough, I just pulled the trigger, and it was just time. This was, like I said, a holy grail system for me that I knew I had to have, and thank goodness, because it's, as you're finding out, Eric, yourself, dude, it's cost prohibitive. It is freaking expensive to have one, but these games are so awesome. You
They
guys,
are.
if you have the ability to emulate that, like Wolfman will tell you, like that's the way. If you want to really get into playing some of these games, don't ignore that Neo Geo wheel. Go and
Mhm.
get and play some of these games because there's so many hidden gems in there because nobody had the opportunity to play them. I mean, if you had a Neo Geo, red cab out, you might have played some of them, but it was so hit or miss. It was like, what games are in this one this time? It's
The other thing that was really cool, it was kind of like the developer's system because before, they would make an arcade game and then they would have to port it to a 16-bit system at the time. But since the Neo Geo hardware was the same, there was no porting necessary. They didn't
yep,
even need to adjust the game. And technically, I mean, for those that are concerned with bits and stuff like that, the Neo Geo came out at a time when 16-bit was dominating everything. And technically, it was 24-bit.
It
So,
marketed itself as 24-bit, but it was
yeah.
actually a 16 32-bit system.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
it's freaking amazing though about like just what it could do. So that's the cool part about this. Like Eric was talking, is like, there was no translation needed. Like it is what it
Yeah.
is, and believe it or not, so if you get there are ways that you can mod your actual console. So I did have mine updated because old consoles, they're gonna need to be recapped, and so when I was in there, I had somebody. That's another if you want to find out the stuff that I did, I have something on my channel. You can go and visit it. I talk about it, but I sent it away and had them refurbish it and update it and give it basically quality of life upgrades. And the biggest one that it had was not only the power upgrade and then the clean RGB, but actually what's called UniBIOS was installed, and that's where you can actually get in. You can change region code. So, because on every cartridge, it has all the regions on the cartridge itself. So, like my Neo Geo, before I had the UniBIOS installed, it was actually a North American console. So I could take Japanese games and put it in there, and all the text and everything would be in English, because my console, my original board, was a US board. But with UniBIOS, even if you have a Japanese console, you put UniBIOS in there, you can make it a North American console and get the same benefit. So
Mhm.
it's really really a cool thing, and yeah, I love this system. So, anyways, I just want to start off with you, Eric. We're just going to talk about a couple games, maybe 3, 4 games,
Sure.
depending on how fast we go. And I want you to start it off, buddy.
So I've recently discovered, playing the Neo Geo games, and I know that there everyone knows the Metal Slugs and all that stuff, and I'll let Mr. Dantron talk about those because those are absolute hits. But I wanted to go through and find some of the hidden gems and stuff, or games that I thought were hidden gems on there. And I'm not into sports games, but I dropped a few hours into this game, and I absolutely love it. I played it in the arcade before, but the Neo Geo one is the exact same as the arcade, and it plays awesome, and it appeals to someone even if you're not into sports. But it's called Super Baseball 2020,
Oh,
and I love that game. It's similar to like almost like an NBA Jam for basketball, but it's for baseball. It was 2020, which is in the past now, but when it came out, it was supposed to be like the future. And
right.
so, you got robots on your team,
That's
and
right.
you can hit balls, over 1,000 yards and stuff like that. And it's just it's a really fun game.
Balls.
It's more than just a baseball game, but it was good. I loved it.
That one is a hidden gem. I like
Mhm.
that one a lot too. I don't own that one. But again, it's some of these games are so expensive, so it's like so cost prohibitive. But yes, definitely check that one out. That one's good.
A
Um,
great game.
it's like a more futuristic version of Baseball Stars because
Yeah.
they all kind of got the same feel. But I know exactly. As soon as you said it, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
That is a good game. All right, Wolfman, what you got?
All right. So I wanted to add on because I didn't get a chance to really say
Oh, I'm sorry.
much about the beginning stuff after my amazing limerick that I
I
read.
apologize. Please, sir. Please.
So I do want to mention to the audience that this is a niche system. And I say that because, in the time period that you said, Dantron, coming out in North America, April 26th, 1990, lasting, what did you say, 7 years roughly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Games were being made, during that entire time, it sold 1.2 million units.
Dude,
1.2 million. So to anybody that knows anything about video games, that is a colossal and epic fail, which is a shame because then, and it was because, like Eric said at the beginning, who the hell had $1,400 to $1,500 at the time just for the system? And then, hey, Dad, hey, Hanukkah Harry, hey, Santa Claus, I want a game or two. Well, you better put aside $400 or $500 with tax for some of those games. So it like cost prohibitive is an understatement, right? But the beauty of the system is now, as adults, not everybody is lucky as Dantron to have the official hardware, but you can play all of the games and see what an amazing system it was and how everybody really missed out on it. Just an amazing system by SNK, which is a Japanese company. And the games that they were churning out are just phenomenal. And we're going to go through some of them. So the game that I want to mention is, I wrote it down here. See if I could get it. Okay. So it's called Top Hunter.
Oh.
Roddy and Kathy. Which,
I don't know that one.
oh my goodness. Okay. So Nintendo had Mario. Sega Genesis had Sonic. And NeoGeo had Roddy and Kathy, man. It was like this amazing 2D, 3D platformer. And it had such a cool mechanic. It had the parallax scrolling, and then you could beat enemies because it's kind of like a little bit, it had some beat 'em up elements too. So as you're going along, if you jumped, you were in the background of the game, which was so cool. And there was all these secrets, like you could take your arm and extend it up and climb up a tree and enter a portal or a warp, and then hit the jump button, you're back in the foreground again. So it is an amazing game with like eye-popping colors, super awesome big sprites, cool bosses, and an amazing soundtrack. It's without a doubt, if you are a platformer fan, it is a must play and a total hidden gem for NeoGeo.
I'm looking at screenshots of it. It looks amazing.
Oh my God, it is so cool. I can't wait till you play it. You're going to be like, damn.
The theme of the NeoGeo is really big, beautiful sprites.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, so that's the thing too. So like Wolfman, you were talking about how few consoles were sold. It's like the amount of arcade machines out was more than the actual console. There were more NeoGeo arcade machines out than consoles sold. So, and also this is another one of those systems that it sold way better over in Asia, like Japan and all those, Asian countries over there. It sold way better. It sold really, really well in the UK, believe it or not, as well. France and Spain and all that kind of stuff. But over here in the States with us Yanks, it was just weird because it was so expensive. And at the time, you're thinking 92 or 1990, we had like Super Nintendo was like was like starting to come out at that point, and and so we had TurboGrafx and all these other, Genesis was still happening. So it was one of those things that, and those systems were like still maybe 150, $200, but you're talking this was like 3 times the cost. So yeah, we missed out on a lot of these gems, and yeah, I just I'm gonna try something a little new since it's my turn. Wolfman and Eric. Normally we just talk about games, and we show games if we have them and all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna try something new for the audience, and I'm gonna try and show a game, and then I'm going to attempt to throw it up on the screen, and hopefully they'll be able to see it for a little bit. So the first one I'm actually going to touch on is a tried and true gem that Eric already mentioned, and it's Metal Slug.
Yeah.
Ooh.
OG Metal Slug, and this game is freaking amazing. I can't say enough about this game. It is basically like a shmup, like a side-scrolling shmup, where there's so much stuff going on in the background, and dude, I freaking love everything about this game. Now, there's been like what I want to say like 7 or 8 different iterations of Metal Slug on the Neo Geo itself, but yeah, it's just a really cool. These are the cases, by the way. Most of the older cases are these leather kind of cases that just kind of open up, and so I'm gonna throw this one in, and we're gonna see if the magic of the PC is going to allow me to swap this over for us. So bear with me for just a second, and let's see if this is going to happen. All right. Sorry, Eric and Wolfman, you're not going to be able to see what's going on, but
All good?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Hang on. I got it. So Metal Slug. But give me a second. I want to do, because I have UniBIOS, so I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to go to soft reboot. And then I'm going to press these ones. Nope, that wasn't the ones I wanted. I wanted these ones. No. Alright. Trying to remember. There we go. Okay, so this is with the UniBIOS. You can go in here. You guys can't really see, but you'll be able to see later. But as of right now, I'm going to go into, which one is it? I think it's the dip switch settings, I think. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to turn on more lives because that's how I like it, which is so super cool. I'm going to turn blood on. Yeah. And let's just go with that. That'll be good. Let's go with that. Exit. Nope. Demo on. All right, exit is this one. Cool. And then we're going to exit back out of there. And then I'm going to go into the cheat menu because that's how I roll. And then you can turn, see, look at all this stuff. Enable, there we are. Enable infinite fire. You guys are going to love this when you see it later. All right, so Metal Slug.
Metal Slug.
See what I can do here real quick. Oh yeah, I have a memory card too. That's one of the coolest things that about the Neo Geo as well. It was one of the first home consoles that actually had a memory card that you could save your data on. And if you had the right arcade machine, you could actually pull that card out and take it to the arcade and plug in your game save. Really cool.
What the hell? Wolf. Oh man.
yeah, you guys are on. So, anyways, this is Metal Slug. Just wanted to kind of show you guys what you're getting into. Such a good game.
I'm like tearing this crap off.
Now you're gonna have to keep that on now for the rest of the time, Wolf.
Are you serious?
No, you can turn it off. You just have to click it again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go. Flamethrower. So this is Metal Slug. Here we are, just jumping around, shooting flaming fireballs all over the joint, trying not to die.
One of the best. It's got to be one of the best games in that system.
Metal Slug, yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, definitely.
Dude, I love the blood too, dude. Oh. So good. All right, anyways, that's enough Metal Slug. I just wanted to show that one off a little bit, and then then maybe I'll fire up the next one next time. So we'll just switch this thing back now, and then we'll see you guys again. Aha! Man. I'm so
He
good
just,
at this.
Eric was just French Eric.
You guys, so you guys that are watching this, you guys didn't get an opportunity to actually see what was going on in the background. We had Wolfman as like Miss Piggy, and then we had our Gandalf for Eric. Good times.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, but anyways, Metal Slug, love this game. It's fantastic. Play it.
Yes.
Metal Slug 5 technically is my favorite, but I'm not spending $4,000 on Neo Geo Kart. So not at this point, at least. Not unless I want to sell a kidney or something. So,
Right?
yep.
Crazy.
All right, Eric.
All right. So I got to go with this one. This was another one. It's not a hidden gem, but it is an absolute gem. I think it rivals Street Fighter, honestly, especially at the time. Street Fighter was kind of dominating like the fighting game. You were either a Street Fighter person or you were a Mortal Kombat person at the time. This game didn't get any love, but I've been playing it and it's so fun. And that's the Double Dragon fighting game that's on NeoGeo.
I almost bought that. Dude, I almost bought that game. It is really good.
It's so good. I mean, it's got the classic characters from the Double Dragon series. The animations are so smooth. The special moves are really great. And I mean, the fighting is just really good. Honestly, if you're a fan of Street Fighter, it's more Street Fighter-esque than it is Mortal Kombat. If you are a fan of Street Fighter, definitely give this game a go. I think you'll find it really fun. I personally, I know this is a hot take right here, but I think it's better than Street Fighter.
It's so good. Well, and then so sometimes like even the Mark of the Wolves, Garo, Mark of the Wolves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one, and there's 3 that are like that. So you're talking about Double Dragon, and then Mark of the Wolves, and then Waku Waku 7 are all like hidden gems. I think they are hidden gems. Just nobody got a chance to experience them, and if they did, it was like one of those ones you'd see them out in the arcade, and some kid will remember playing it. Like, oh man, I remember that game. You've totally forgot about it until right now when Eric just brought it up again. It is fantastic. Make sure you look it up. Definitely if you have the ability to play it. Yeah, it's great. Wolfman, did you ever check that game out?
No, Double Dragon.
It's a fighting game.
I haven't. Regretfully, I have not.
Yeah.
But after Eric, I take Eric's recommendation seriously, and I will absolutely check it out. I have my Steam Deck upstairs all loaded up on Neo Geo. Matter of fact, I was playing it right before we had started. So I was checking out the games I had recommended again and trying to find maybe one or two that might be considered a hidden gem. So
Heck
For
yeah.
sure.
mm-hmm.
All right, Wolfman. Hit us with the
Okay.
hot one.
All right. This is scorching hot, this next one. Magma Lava Hot. It's if I was getting a Neo Geo, I would try to get this game because I play it so much on my handheld and Megacade. I hope that both of you have heard of it. It's called Prehistoric Isle 2.
I have.
And my goodness, it is like, first off, I'm a shmup fan, and it's kind of, right in that realm. You control a helicopter, and you're this helicopter, and you're squaring off against dinosaurs in a Neo Geo style with the big giant sprites, huge bosses, and honestly, I would even say that this game plays more like a bullet hell shmup than just a regular shmup. So it's tough in certain parts. The bullets are coming out from the bosses, and they come out in patterns, and you have to, find a way through the bullets to be able to shoot the bosses. And if you get hit, you lose your power up. So it's really not. It's unforgiving in a lot of ways, and it's cool because you're picking up hostages, and it's got an awesome soundtrack like most Neo Geo games, and the graphics to me are just like, wow, I can't even believe at that time how good they look. I mean, really almost like stylized in a way. I'd say it's a must play. Without question. And if I were to get a Neo Geo, I would try to track this down, unless it was $4,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then maybe not.
almost all the games are going to be like just ridiculously expensive for the most part. But you're right, Wolf. Like that's another good point. These are arcade games technically, so they're freaking hard. Like their default difficulty is hard as monkey balls. So it's one of those things like with the UniBIOS, you could see I could change difficulty and stuff on there. Like I'll tell you straight up, like playing 3-count bout, if you play on default difficulty, freaking almost impossible. Like you'd just be throwing quarters in all the time. It's just so freaking hard. Such a hard game. A lot of
that's
these
like
games
Magician Lord, man. Magician Lord is so hard.
Yeah. Oh, what was that one?
That's the top. What was it?
That's Top Hunter, Roddy.
Top Hunter, yeah.
Amazing.
Nice.
It's so much fun.
This game is so fun. I'm already
know.
just like enjoying it.
Well, there you go. It's like you guys make sure all 6 of you that are watching this, make sure you're jotting down some of these names. I'm just telling you, like just a suggestion, because you're gonna go back and go, what was some of those games again? Because I might go back and label out the games that we talk about, but then again, we talk about so many games that just off the cuff that I might totally miss it. But anyways, right on. Super dope. Wolfman, I'm going to have to check out Prehistoric Isle 2 again because it's been a long time since I've played that. And so I'll have to fire it up on the old NeoGeo'D and see what's going on with it.
Yep,
but
no doubt.
But the next one that I'm going to talk about is one that this is one of my favorite NeoGeo games, believe it or not. And it is just, it's super fun. It's easy to get into. It's fast. One of my favorite things about it is the levels are short. So it's a short level so that you don't get bored. That's like you get to the end, you fight a boss, and you keep going. So it's not like one of those where you're in a level for like 10 minutes just trying to work your way through it. It's like there's like usually 2 stages, and each stage is like maybe 3 minutes. So it's really easy to get into. It's the graphics are great because it changes the backgrounds all the time, and it's 8-man.
Oh yeah, love that game.
This one definitely is a hidden gem as well. 8-man. Yeah, if you guys haven't played this one, it is actually I'm gonna fire it up. It is one of those super fun, like side scroller beat 'em up again because it's Neo Geo, right? But I'm gonna fire this one up so you guys can kind of see it. I did a short on it about 3 weeks ago now or so, but it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's what made me play it, watching your short. I had not heard of it
it's so
prior. Good. And then I played it. And I was like, oh, damn, Skippy's right. This is good.
Dude.
This is the 8-man is the first game where it feels like you're playing a comic book.
Yes.
Like, it's awesome. Dude, I'm playing this Prehistoric Isle game right now. This is dope.
Oh, Prehistoric Isle 2. Yeah, it's so good.
I love this little console I have.
Yeah, I was eyeballing that, man. That looks good.
It's so pocketable. I carry it everywhere.
Oh, it's so good.
You're playing 8-man right now?
Yeah, I'm playing 8-man right now so you guys can see it.
Nice. Love that game, man. That game's so fast. Like, you could never get bored of that game.
No, I know. That's the best part about this game is that it's just freaking madness the whole time.
And you feel like you're the Flash or something. Like the way he moves and runs and
stuff. It's all about spandex, dude. That's what I said, man.
It's all about spandex.
It is. It's all about like speedos and spandex and cyborgs. Such a good game, dude. Oh, whoops. I just freaking bought the farm. So good. Alright, anyways, there's 8-man. I'm probably at the boss now. Yep, I'm at the boss. I guess I'll fight him.
Fight him, man.
Continue. I died! Oh my gosh.
Freaking Wolf. You dress like that all the time.
Yeah, all the time, Wolfman.
Oh, definitely. Ho, 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 and a bottle of rum.
Oh, God.
Having way too much fun with this.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, my gosh. Just getting ate up by this boss, you guys. Die, sucker. Yeah, keep that now.
Awesome.
Let's go. Anyways, 8-man. There it goes, you guys. Enjoy. All right.
All right.
I didn't save. I'll do better on the boss next time. Oh, we got Wolf Pirate Man. There we go. We're back.
My favorite movie is rated R.
Oh my gosh. All right, Eric. What do you got?
All right. So I've played this game. I've played iterations of this game on almost every single console, and I love it every single time. That being said, I'm a more a fan of the classic. Eventually, this game moved over to 3D, and I wasn't a huge fan of when it went to 3D. I prefer the older 2D versions, and I didn't know that NeoGeo had a version of this game. And when I started playing it, I was like, dude, this is definitely on par with one of my favorite versions of the game. So I got to mention it. Even though you can play it on other systems, the NeoGeo one is superior in a lot of ways, and that's NeoGeo Bomberman or Neo Bomberman. And it has just enough where it's like the graphics are so good, the animations are so good, but it's not 3D, and it's a great game. It's a great if you love the Bomberman series, give this one a shot because it's really good.
I didn't even know it was on there.
It's one of the most well known and well received Neo Geo games, because in over in Japan and stuff, it was huge.
Yeah,
huge over there.
I love the series, but this version was really good.
Yeah, I know. See, hidden gem, right? Like you just didn't know. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it is a great game. I agree with you. I like that one a lot. All right, Wolfman.
All right. So this is a small shout out to Scantron. I think he would like this game. There you go. And then we got some Scantron merch here to my left.
Nice.
I think this is a hidden gem, and I love games that have like a horror tone to it or like a gothic feel. And when I came across this game for the first time, it totally reminded me of an old Nintendo game that I loved called Snow Brothers. It's just like Snow Brothers. It plays just like it, except I think this is way better. It's called Nightmare in the Dark. And it is just
my nickname in college.
Cool. Did you play it?
No. No.
That's his college life. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Nightmare in the Dark.
Yeah.
Oh, Nightmare. I missed what you said. Okay. Here you go.
Well, tell us about it, Wolf. What is it
okay,
like?
So it's hard to explain, but you got these platforms, and you're this guy. I don't know, like, what he is. He might be like an undertaker in a graveyard, and you could like shoot out fire. So you got like all of these enemies, and every couple levels the enemies or the monsters change, and your goal is to hop up on all of the little kind of islands, and you want to clear off all of the monsters on the board, and then you advance to the next board in the level. And then when you pass, I don't know, a bunch of them, then the whole scenery changes. You get new monsters. There's like power-ups that the little guy could have. You could have big flames that kind of ricochet and bounce all over the screen to help you clear enemies.
It is like Snow Bros.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It is totally like Snow Bros.
Dude, I got to check this out right now.
Oh,
Nightmare in the Dark? Because I'm looking at screenshots, and it looks awesome.
It is so cool. To me, hidden gem without a question.
See, I hope that this is coming across to the people that are watching. Like, there is so many of these games on Neo Geo that you've never experienced. Like, if you have the opportunity, again, I'm not telling you to go out and buy hardware or anything. Wolf and I have said this in the past on these. This is not us bragging about these things. That's not what this is about. I'm a freaking nerd, and as a nerd myself, I like to watch other people and see something like, that's awesome, that's so cool. And I think that because I like some of this stuff, that somebody else might like some of this stuff with me. So again, not showing this stuff off to like, oh man, look at all this. That's not it at all. It's to try and introduce you guys to different stuff that you might not ever have even experienced, and you should. Like Neo Geo is one that you could live in for a long time. And there's games you'll be like, I don't know what this game is, but it sounds kind of weird, like Nightmare in the Dark. Like you wouldn't know just by looking at it. You're like, all right, what is this? And you kind of maybe. But you click in and start playing some of these games, and they're freaking great. There's only been a few games that I'm not too keen on. I'm looking at you that what is it? The racing game. What's the? I own it. The freaking motorcycle one. That doesn't freaking suck.
Dude, this Nightmare in the Dark is giving me total Bubble Bobble vibes.
Yes,
And
Yeah.
yes,
it's dope.
yep. It absolutely. Now that you said that, it does play like Bubble Bobble and like Snow Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super.
This
cool.
is fun, dude. I'm gonna play this game.
I know it's awesome.
Everybody's gonna be playing these games, dude. And speaking of that, I'm gonna come to my next one, and I'm gonna switch back to a shmup.
Ooh,
This is my believe it or not, this is my favorite shmup on this console. There's a ton of good shmups on this console, but this one I like this one because of its like kind of World War II theme to it. Ghost Pilots.
oh yes.
I freaking love
That's a
Ghost
great
Pilots.
game.
This game is one of those ones. If you like 1942 or whatever,
Yep.
if you like any of those 19XX, I like this better. This one, it's I'll just say easily, it's the cool part about it is the bullets are easy to see, so they don't blend into the background like some of those shmups are. The sprites are super huge. It's really easy to move around. The responsiveness on the game is just great. And there's a lot of different varying enemies. You're not repeating a bunch of the same enemy all the time. And I'll just fire this one up for a minute and show you guys what's going on with this one here too.
Eric, could you turn your thing over so we could see the night? You still playing Nightmare in the Dark?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Check that out. That's what it looks
I mean,
like.
look at those graphics. It's
So
like a
good. I'm gonna have to-
cartoon.
you
It's
guys are-
amazing.
I just swapped it. You guys have to show that to the crew when I come back.
Oh yeah. I'll show it again. It's a blast, man. I'm just
Sure, I'll
playing
do
it. It's so fun.
I know.
Oh yeah. So and the audience, I'll show them when I come back. But where the NeoGeo's sitting hooked up here.
I
This
would
is
say
Ghost
that the
Pilot.
Neo Geo, building off of what Dan said, Neo Geo is almost like the system that was like the king of shmups, man. There are so many good shmups on.
Oh
Neo
my
Geo.
God.
I would say the NeoGeo and the freaking Turbo Graphics, dude.
Yep.
Oh yeah, TurboGrafx had some good ones too. Yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
Man, the Japanese love their shmups.
They do.
Oh,
They
dude, there's
also
a-
love sushi and sumo
boss.
wrestling and
Yeah.
opie.
Dude, this
see
is
that
yes,
guy?
Opie. But this is dude, this game is so awesome. Like if these people get an opportunity to play this, it's just everything about this game is just so much fun. The sound is great, and I played until I died. There we go. So,
Nice.
anyways, awesome.
Eric,
let me-
could you show the audience the Nightmare
yeah,
in the
let me
Dark?
flip this-
Yeah, this is a little.
wait.
Hang on, I got to flip it back
Wait,
around. Here
he's
we
got
go.
to
yeah,
flip
flip.
it back.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, you can go ahead and show, and then I'll show them.
All
what's
right.
up
So this
here,
is
too.
a boss fight right there. Nightmare in the Dark.
Look at that. It's
Yeah.
like a horror comic book come to life.
That's
It's
super
so
cool.
good.
And then this, so you guys are wondering what I'm doing here. So there's some of my games sitting over here, and so I'm just having the system on, and yep. So that's what it looks like with the freaking huge game. sticking in there.
Amazing. And I hope the audience appreciates a collector like this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I believe anybody that's watching this, and it's, might be 7 or 8 of you,
Yeah.
I would say probably 3/4 of you are jealous in a good way because it's the system you always wanted but could never have. And really you're seeing why it is now so loved and so coveted by collectors today because of these games, man. These games were just killer.
Yeah. It's fantastic, man. I mean, that's 2 hidden gems that I didn't even know existed that I just played, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come back to those. Those are fun.
Heck yeah, we're gonna definitely have to do another supplemental because we're getting to that time. So let's just do one more round,
Yeah.
and then we'll
Okay.
come back and supplemental on this bad boy. So Eric, what do you got for your last one for this time?
All right, so this is kind of like a guilty pleasure. So this game isn't going to be for everyone, but if you like puzzle games and the Tetris type genre or whatever, A lot of Japanese consoles had these games. Some of them didn't make it over here because they just didn't sell very well. I don't know. I don't know that this one actually made it over. I'm looking at the thing. Yeah, it does look like it had some re-releases. So yeah, it did. It did make it over here eventually. Anyway, this game's called Magic Drop 3. It's similar to like Bust a Move or Columns or like that, but it's got the added anime style sprites that are in the background and stuff like that. And you know, I love that art style. I love the old school anime style. So definitely kind of speaks to my soul and when I grew up and stuff like that. But it's a puzzle game. If you like puzzle games, it's a really fantastic puzzle game. It's 2-player at the same time, and you guys battle each other, which was rare back then. And it's just really fun. It's unique too. It's not the same as Tetris. It's not the same as Columns. It's not even the same as Bust a Move, but it's a really good, I think, a hidden gem in the puzzle genre.
I love puzzles. I'm gonna check that out.
Yep, I'm gonna have to check that one out too. So Eric, there's you just sparked something in my thought process too. Is I remember there's a lot of those games that had English releases, but they weren't actually released in the U.S. They were released in UK. Because
right,
so there's still a lot of games that didn't make it over here, but still had the English translation done.
Yeah.
So and most of those would be sold because I want to say I think Neo Geo sold better per the size of the region in Europe than it did over here in the U.S. So yeah, dude, I'm gonna check that one out too. I've never played that one. I'm down with it.
Yep.
I thought you were gonna say Mahjong, and I was like, oh, dude, here we go.
No.
All right, Wolfman.
All right. Last one. Ooh, this is tough. I got 2. It's like Sophie's choice here.
We'll save the other one for next time.
All right. So the one I'm going to choose is a beat 'em up, and I think it's a little bit on the underrated side. I know maybe a lot of you've never heard of it. It's called Robo Army.
Oh.
And you play like a guy that kind of looks like RoboCop and Judge Dredd fused into one. And it
already love this game.
Oh my God, it's awesome. Let me tell you, here's the clincher, right? You could turn into a freaking car, dude.
Oh, nice.
And then when your RoboCop character turns into a car, you just drive and you just run into enemies. It's the most unbelievable mechanic I've ever seen in a beat 'em up. It is really, really unique. Super attacks, great power ups, giant sprites. That's classic for Neo Geo. And it's not the best beat 'em up I've ever played, not by a long shot, but I don't think a lot of people have heard of it, and it is fun, and it does have some unique mechanics. Yeah, there it is. And I think if you like beat 'em ups, give this one a try.
It was trying to focus. That's cool. Yeah, is there blood in it, or do you have to do like I did with Metal Slug and turn the blood on?
I don't know if there's blood in it. I don't remember blood because what you're facing is really neat. It's robotic, like creatures and stuff. Like there's one part where there's like this giant robotic gorilla. It's like a mini boss, and he like comes at you, and it's very neat. There's like robotic killer dogs that attack you, and it's just everything's kind of futurized, and it's a solid beat 'em up. It's definitely not like dinosaurs and Cadillacs and anything like that. Like that one you just did, Dantron, the one that Marty likes. I can't remember.
Oh,
baseball man.
Ninja Baseball Batman.
Yeah. But I'd say it's a solid 7.5 for a beat 'em up.
That's 7.5. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out. That's another one I haven't played. So you figure like, oh, it was so expensive. They didn't come out with a lot of games. I don't know the amount of games that it released, but there's a freaking ton of Neo Geo games that were released.
If anyone's curious about how this game plays, it plays almost identical to Ninja Slayers, or is it Ninja Warriors on the SNES? The one where you have 3 characters and they're
ninjas.
You're
right, Ninja Warriors. Yeah.
It plays just like that. but it's again having a blast. Game I've never heard of. Really fun.
Cool.
Nice. All right, and for my last game, I got so many. These are so cool, but this is one we can't talk about Neo Geo without talking about a fighting game. So either we already talked about Double Dragon, we kind of mentioned and I kind of showed, but I really didn't play it, King of Fighters. But when you're talking Neo Geo, this is the game that people think of when you say fighting game on Neo Geo. You know why? Because we all wanted to be freaking ninjas or samurais when we were kids, and when you saw this in the arcade, this was in almost every single arcade cabinet. If it was a 1-slot, 4-slot, 6-slot cabinet, it was at least one of those slots filled with this game.
And it had blood.
Samurai Showdown.
Oh,
Samurai Showdown.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good game. And
oh, yeah.
And if you guys haven't played it, there's weapons. It's not just fighting, but it's like fighting with weapons. Really, really cool sprites. Great design on characters. It's so much fun. Oh, by the way, sorry, you guys didn't get a chance to look. These are what the controllers look like, too.
Yeah, they're arcade sticks.
Yeah, they're like straight up arcade sticks. So they're really, really cool. They're heavy duty.
Clicky,
but,
right? They have a nice clicky sound.
Hang on, see. No, you can't really. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
I have sound deadening, so you can't really hear it. But yeah, so good. So let's play some Samurai Showdown real quick.
The thing that blew my mind as a kid about Samurai Showdown was I think it was like the first fighting game where it would zoom in and out as you're fighting.
Yep.
So if you got further away from your opponent, it would zoom out, and you would see more of the stage. Yeah.
Let's see, which character? You know, I should probably take the female characters. Actually, I don't even think there are female characters.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
Yep.
You always got to pick the girl.
She's good too.
Yeah,
she can use the.
Oh, and I get freaking earthquake.
Oh.
the first guy I get is freaking earthquake.
That's a good demonstration of the size of the sprites that the Neo Geo could do.
Oh yeah.
Because Earthquake's huge.
Suck it, Earthquake. Oh shoot, he just farted on me. He did the fart move.
Man, oh Wolf coming out with the gems, man. This game is...
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I'm all about the gems, Eric.
Ooh, yeah, suck it.
I'm gonna make D. Thomas play some of these on his next stream.
Oh no, she just farted on me again. Yeah, suck it. All right, and we'll end it with that one.
Nice.
Suck it, Earthquake. All right, there you go.
Samurai Showdown.
Samurai Showdown. There you go, guys. That was it. So, all right. Well, this was fun. I tried to keep, again, I would love to do, I love these law episodes, but I gotta kind of, you know, when they're 4 hours long sometimes, it's kind of like, oh my gosh. So I'm trying to do more supplementals. So yeah. This is the first time that we've done some Neo Geo. So we'll do another supplemental. Maybe we'll bring a couple other people in here with their hidden gems.
12 games though is solid. I mean, you know, if you listen to the show, you're getting 12 solid picks tonight.
There was more than 12 that we talked about though.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
There's a lot that we talked about, but anyways, hey, I just wanted to say thanks again for you guys taking time out of your busy weekends to come and hang out with me. I really do appreciate it. And then for everybody else, you know, out there, that if you have any questions, just get in the chat. Like, make some comments. What do you want to see in the supplemental episode? What are some of your favorite Neo Geo games that you found that we're not familiar with that we'd love to know about? Just get in there. Let us know. So I want to take a moment to, again, though, say thanks to Problem Solved with Eric. Make sure you check out his YouTube page. Give him a subscribe. He's always doing some fun stuff with, you know, like household fixes, which is really easy to understand. It's really simple for laymen. It's awesome how he does that. But then also Coin Drop Customs. He builds custom PCs. He's got V-pins. He's got all kinds of technological stuff on his YouTube page. Make sure you check him out. Freaking fantastic. Thanks, Eric, for coming and hanging out again.
For sure. It's a blast, man.
And then my Wolfman, my partner, my brother from another mother. I really, really do appreciate every time being able to hang out with you. It's always a ton of fun. And you know what you say, even at the beginning, before the audience got to see this, is that you said, I am just, I'm not a super expert at NeoGeo, but look at the knowledge that you still dropped. Like, did you enjoy actually starting to look through some of these NeoGeo games and actually seeing how freaking sweet some of them are?
So absolutely, right? I mean, the one thing that the many things, that the friendship of both of you have given me, is definitely to look at other things and other systems and other games and stuff like that. But it started with like OG Xbox, which I never had and I love because there's so many damn games, and I never had a Neo Geo. So it was so much fun to look through the catalog on the Megacade or on the Steam Deck and play these games. And just, it's like throwing darts. I mean, I never heard of, that Nightmare game. I mean, I came to it by accident and I played it and I'm like, whoa, holy cow, is this great. And it's just so much fun to find a game that's awesome that you never played before. And I just love that. So this show and the friendship that I've made, on the show with our various friends and our group have allowed me to expand my video game mind and try new things. And, I know I still owe you a Steel Battalion, maybe this summer. I will hook that sucker up, maybe in the Mountain House, and we'll give that a go. But
that's so cool.
NeoGeo is awesome. Make sure you head to Dantron69K's channel. He does retro shorts every day, and you'll see awesome gems and cool games, and
some not so cool games. There's
yeah. And give him a like, give him a subscribe. We want to see him get to 1,000 so we could do some lives and stuff. So
thanks,
really
Wolfman.
appreciate it, guys. Ton of fun.
Thanks. And thanks to you guys that hung out with us for the whole time. Those of you that came for the premiere chat, I really appreciate it. But until next time, peace.
See you guys.